Network error. Please try again. Damn you, network error. Huh. Oh, that's going to be interesting. There it is.
Here we go. Hi, Lightning. Actually, I'm 19 minutes late. Technically. But I didn't set an exact time. And this is just the exhibitions, so it's okay. Why is that thing on screen? Benchmark mission. I was using it to get the game warmed up.
Time check.
Alright, I'm gonna close all of this. So you know what we're up to today, right?
How's everyone doing today? Oh, my voice is really loud.
Is it?
Just a little bit. It's okay. Everyone can hear my dulcet tones.
Sound works much better when I unmute it. Amazing discovery. I have done things like that. I'm not proud of that. So Thago, you only ever saw Ring 2 fleets, I believe.
I saw some of the Ring 1 ones as a spectator, but I was in and out.
Right, right.
So I've seen a few of these, but I don't have, like, detailed staring at them understanding.
Fair, fair. Well, you're going to get that today, at least with some of them.
Excellent. As long as there are spaceships, I'll be happy.
And we will be lobster betting on these, even though the results don't affect the tournament, because everybody needs lobsters.
I really like the lobster bets. It's interesting to see what people think, and how wrong I am.
I know, right? So, the first match is actually something that... So you remember Ark's fleet, this missile horror here.
Oh yeah, the thing's just disgusting. I love it.
We had sort of an equivalent in Ring 1 with Pure Tilt, who went for a Nixus spam fleet that was completely unbeaten up until ASK managed to take it apart by the skin of his teeth.
So we're going to have missile spam on missile spam.
Yeah. The thing about Tilt's fleet that works really well is that he actually designed it. Like, this thing has no missile spam on at all. It's just a really, really good anchor that the rest of the fleet was built around.
It's interesting to see that many flaks on a Doberman.
I know, right?
I mean, I suppose it makes sense.
He also took the shield off the main module and relied just on the modules.
That's one way to do it.
Everything after that is basically, how many Nixuses can I mount while also still having guns? So we have an adventure, Ifrit.
Yeah.
We also have, this isn't allowable anymore, collapsed cargo holds, which is giving this thing another 2,000 armor because it's a civ-grade ship with way too much cargo space.
Oh, I was wondering if collapsed cargo holds was going to be around.
I'd forgotten it existed, so I didn't ban it. This is previous the LTA patch, because this is just to see round 1 fleets and matches that didn't happen before. These are exhibition matches. These don't affect the actual results of the tournament. These are just matches people wanted to see between fleets that were separated last time. 1080 base, 900 plus 27 from Bob Hero. Okay. We have Enforcers with just Nixuses and Flax. And as you can see, he's going so heavy with the regenerating everything.
Yeah, I mean... Enforcers are good ships. They really should have guns on them, but oh well.
I know, they're good little meatballs.
Now, that build confuses me, because it still has 12 vents. And it's like, you only have 150 weapon flux and 80 shield flux. I don't know. I don't know. I'm nitpicking here.
Yeah, I admit I don't get that either. Pirate Venture is of a similar frame, including excessive dissipation.
Hello, Venture.
We have a Wagner, which isn't surprising considering the sheer amount of missiles it can mount. And just as before, we do have Hurricane Spectres.
Right.
One of the differences is the presence of Pomeranians, which have that Mind Strike ability and these 3 synergy slots, but also like no shield at all.
How many DP is one of these things again?
These are 10.
Okay.
I
Okay,
raised
that's actually
that in the round 2.
Gotcha.
We have Buffalo Mark 14s, which were supposed to be limited, but somehow I missed them. So here they are.
Let's see. Invenger is asking, is Missile Spam versus Missile Spam one of the matches? Yes, this one.
This one. We have Solarized Flares, which just have a couple pellet guns and a Nixus. And Spade Mark IIs, which just have a Nixus. So, Nixus spam versus many different kinds of missile spam.
I like the fleet name there. Zero FPS.
It was his attempt to bring my computer down to 0 FPS, which did not work.
I think you have to get some fighters that have lots of engines on them. I'm trying to think. Are any mods particularly bad about putting lots of engines on their fighters?
In my experience, no. Most mods are pretty good about being conservative with fighters.
Yeah, because that's one of those strange things in the game, is that engines take a lot of like graphics power for some reason.
Is Tilt a him or her? I think Tilt's female. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, this is... The only difference is Arc... I mean, I guess they both lost once, technically. But... against every normal fleet, they had not been beaten.
Now, what was the fleet that beat Pure Tilt?
ASK, who is also in here, because ASK's fleet was insane.
Right, I remember that. I remember seeing that briefly, because I didn't watch the whole thing.
Almost everybody has bet on Arc, which I guess I shouldn't find too surprising. Because while Tilt's fleet was effective and has a beautiful anchor, Arc's...
like one of the ships that was very effective in the last stream. You know, and I was thinking like, oh, that the 7 flax on the Doberman might be too much. That might be good.
Yeah, have you remembered who we're up against?
Oh, that poor Enforcer.
I know, it burn drive forward, the poor stupid brave thing. These Spectres are a little up close. One of Arc's Mercuries went down.
Now, I'm not getting any sound from that match. Are other people getting sound? Oh, no, there it goes. That must have just... that was...
You good?
It was just my computer being weird.
Okay.
Yep, sorry about that.
His school is under assault from the Doberman. Might not be enough, though. Doberman's okay so far, though.
Yeah,
they've survived the initial
missile
missile wave without too many losses. Which I didn't
expect.
expect.
Yeah, the Pomeranian just went down. Oh, there's an Archer overloaded up north. Let's see if the Nixus and the... oh, yeah, that Archer's taking a lot of fire.
I kind of thought this would go faster. But no, Tilt's putting up a fight.
Yeah, oh, one of the frontline ships is dead.
Yeah, one of the ghouls. This Archer's about to go down too, which is 3 medium missile slots.
Oh, look at those Gauss. Beautiful Gauss hits on the Archer.
I know. Ooh.
This is shaping up to be a match.
Tilt might win just because he bothered to do things besides missiles. Because he's cutting down Arc's missile spam. And he still has his actual guns.
Now that the smaller ships have kind of fallen back to the battle line, these larger ships with long-range guns are doing really well.
And then there's the Doberman, which is the anchor for Tilt's fleet. And
And
really
it's
doing
just-
its job for that.
It has so much anti-missile, and that's just perfect right now. It has
It's
its
also just a
AoE, it has
really
all those
tough
flags.
brick of a ship.
Yeah, that Atlas Mark II just overloaded. It's in trouble.
Yep, and the Doberman found it. Come on, fire the cannons. Your main module doesn't have, like, any flux at all. There you go. Yep.
There goes the Atlas Mark II.
Overloaded the ghoul over here too, which might be the next victim. Yep.
I love Gauss cannons. They're flux hungry, but if you can afford the flux, they're just such good penetration for a kinetic weapon.
They are, and they're very long range too, which is just, you know, always nice. Excuse me,
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Did I say to completely skip the thing I told you to play? I did not. There we go. And now it's too loud. I hate you so much. There we go. Sorry. Tilt lost another Pomeranian and a buffalo somewhere.
Ooh. Yep, Pomeranian to go.
They're at equal
It's not a-
DP
you know,
loss
the-
right now.
Yep.
But one of the crucial factors here is that
Ooh,
Ark
nice.
doesn't really have guns and has limited missiles.
Right, and once the missiles run out, you know, they're not flanking aggressively, so I don't really see how this fleet can take out the Doberman unless all the missiles focus fire, which they're not. Oop, did another Buffalo down,
Yep.
and that's a Mark II down.
Yep. Technically, Ark's ahead in DP at the moment. Ow, Doberman takes some hecatons to the side. That's not
Ooh.
good. The Doberman does need to be aware of where the missiles are coming from, though. It needs its friends to help with that.
It does. It's kind of all over the place in what it's targeting. How's the fight to the left going?
Over here on the left, we have not a lot going on. Probably this buffalo's going to die. This adventurer is trying to help hold off these two archers and this boar. There might be a little too much pressure over here. Depends how much ammo these all have left. Spade down.
Gotcha.
This adventurer is back here. Not much happening on the right. This ghoul's being tormented. Another buffalo is down somewhere. I'm guessing it's the one on the left. Yeah, it's the one on the left. This adventurer's about to die too. This is starting to go
Yeah.
against Tilt.
It is. Things were going well for a while, but then that adventure was a big loss. I do love that. That Doberman is just doing really good work, but now it's getting focus fired.
Yeah, which it can handle
Those
a
are
bit of that.
hecatons, right?
It is a proper capital, but
Yeah. Now are those yellow hecatons?
those
Or am I
are.
getting my...
I believe those are hecatons. Yes.
Are they ammo limited?
Yeah. Pretty much everything in
Okay.
Ark's fleet is.
Okay, so the fact that this Doberman just basically stood off all that firepower is a win for them.
Yeah, the firepower's not coming back. I think there are
Ooh,
spandex
heavy
missile
gases.
wrecks everywhere, but Doberman is just tired of this wreck in its way. How is that not exploded yet? Christ.
Rex have like inordinate numbers of hit points. I know.
Archer down.
Nice. You know, Dobermans just consistently do well.
They are. They're really nice ships. They're not complicated. They're just really solid.
Point to this side towards enemy. Oh, that's going to be a... Oh no, the flak actually protected its side pretty well there.
It won't protect against everything that happens, so it wants to kill that archer quickly, which it can do.
Yeah, luckily, each Gauss cannon is 350 DPS, but like 750 penetration,
Ow!
something like that.
That's a shield module down.
Ooh,
That's very bad.
that could be a problem. That makes that side a lot weaker. And it just took another hit.
Yeah, it is starting to lose hull. And I don't think that it regenerates. Ow.
Yeah, the shots are just sneaking into that one place. However, that Legion's armor is down, so all those Gauss hits are going to start taking their toll.
Yeah,
Wow,
it is reducing
yeah.
the Legion's health, slowly but surely. And now it's
Oh, no,
affected with the
don't.
ghoul.
Don't switch targets. Although, actually, it's going to kill the ghoul.
Very
Okay, never
quickly,
mind.
yes.
Do switch targets. Nice job. I think Arc might be out of ammo for the most part.
Yeah, not entirely though. And the Legion still have the Bafflers, which is a good gun.
Yeah, that's very true.
Spectre closing with the Terminator drones. A phase ship is going to be annoying. That actually could be bad because the Baffler will deal enough HE if the Doberman turns away.
Oh,
the
Doberman, what are you
unphase is
doing?
right in the Grand Salvo.
Oh my goodness! That was gorgeous. That was just absolutely gorgeous.
Bad place to unphase.
Yeah, this Doberman. Oh, and then some Hurricanes on the right, getting a fast kill on a boar.
Yeah, there's still some Hurricanes left on Tilt's side somehow. Where are these missiles coming from over here? Okay, a Spectre and a Mercury having a fight. I don't care about either of you.
Anything more happening to the right, or is
Where
that
do those
kind of quiet?
kneecappers come from? Is one of you... That's Arc's Mercury, right? It has kneecappers. I just wanted to know what that kept coming from over on the side. Alright, looks like it's victimizing this Legion now.
Can we take a look at the fight to the right? I think that Legion is just gonna die. Yeah, that Legion's dead.
We have one adventurer and like a few other ships here, skirmishing with what's left of Arc's fleet. That Legion is dead.
Yep, so the Doberman is gonna come up.
But there's like not missiles coming out of Arc's side anymore.
I think they're out. I think they managed to weather the storm.
I honestly thought Tilt would lose this when I saw the fight requested.
You know, that Doberman, it's just such a good setup to counter this fleet. Long range, it's going to get pushed back by the missiles because that's what the AI does, but it has the Gausses to keep firing, and then tons of flak.
That it does. I don't know what it's doing now, though.
It seems to be stuck running away.
It's confused.
Is it trying to kill that thing behind it?
No, the thing behind it's dead. I guess it's trying to go after this thing? Well, success.
Ooh. Apparently, it knows what it's doing.
Zing. Zing. That Razorback is trying so hard to dodge. Nope. Well, match me on the first one. Tilt versus Arc. Legion and Niagara could have done the same job. I don't know, the Doberman seems like a very refined... And the modules help. Not that a Niagara's bad. A Niagara could have done similar work in a different way, but I think the Doberman is what we needed for this. A lot of changes to various parts of ED shipyards have been requested of me, but nobody said anything about the Doberman.
The Doberman is just a nice, solid ship, but we've also seen it lose several times. It's not invulnerable. It's not broken.
No, it's just a big,
nice.
solid brick.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing it get pretty brutally flanked and just taken apart because it's forward only.
If you did say something badger, then I'm very sorry. I don't have an amazing memory.
There's still a lot of skirmishing happening on the right, but nothing very conclusive. I think most of the ships on the right-hand side are mostly out of all their firepower, so they're just kind of waving at each other.
Yeah.
Like that Enforcer is engaging with its flax versus a boar with no weapons, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the difference is the Enforcer at least does still have Nixus missiles. And yeah, like that. Although firing them that close to range isn't helpful. If they hit before they burst, they don't do very much.
Behold the firepower of this fully operational single flat cannon. There goes that Spectre.
Yeah, it
That
hits
Legion's
CR'd
gonna
out.
go down. Basically, the Legion's just gonna take a while, but it can't fight the Doberman. It doesn't have the guns anymore.
It has a couple of bafflers, but the Doberman is more than capable of weathering that, and it can't handle 3 Gauss cannons.
Not much can, to be honest.
That's fair. The Legion has fighters, but if I remember correctly, Arc went for EMP fighters specifically, which is no longer going to be enough for anything. Oh, pardon me. So at this point, it's really just a matter of cleanup.
Yeah, it's just a matter of those 2 capitals just rolling over these ships that don't have any guns left. It's gonna take a while, but they'll just grind them out.
The Adventurer's CR is faltering even. The Doberman's okay for now. I think it did run out of PPT though.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a very long fight. This is going on 10 minutes now? 12 minutes now.
Christ.
Which is surprising, because both these fleets have so much strike power.
Yeah? It is... Yeah, the Doberman has mostly used Grand Salvo against Rex.
It did kill that one Spectre very quickly with the Grand Salvo.
In fairness, the Spectre did that to itself, just about. Where should I unphase? In the middle of all these bullets. Jolly good idea.
Yes, excellent.
I guess that's a fair point. Most of the other contestants didn't go much for PD, whereas these fleets did because they weren't doing anything else.
Right, like, the Doberman, we've talked about a lot. It has the Grand Salvo and like 7 flak cannons, but all the Enforcers have flak, the Adventurers have flak, you know.
And while flak isn't an amazing point defense option, it's better than nothing.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's actually interesting when you have like so many missiles and also a lot of flak cannons, it suddenly becomes quite good because it's AoE.
Yeah, these are just for fun exhibition matches, Beans.
Yes.
What's left? Oh, there's a ghoul down here. And 2 other CR0 ships.
None of these ships have any weapons. Just kind of floating around.
I mean, if either of Tilt's ships could get something online, they have weapons, but...
They're all 0 CR, so they might have critical malfunctioned out.
That's true, that's true. Speed up, yeah.
There's Gauss time. Look at those Gauss.
So it cost Tilt a lot, but Tilt's fleet does win that one.
Yeah. Yep, it was quite pricey, but they managed to edge him out.
Not many people bet on Tilt, and frankly, neither did I. Not that I'm betting, but I would not have bet that. Okay.
It's a good match.
Very
It took a little while, but it was my thoughts on who would win actually swung back and forth a couple times during it.
I know.
Right in the middle, I thought Archangel was suddenly going to collapse. Or sorry, I thought, yeah, Archangel. But I was wrong. I'm using it wrong.
Now for our next fleet... Is that the right one? Is that the right schedule? I feel like that's not the right schedule. Could have sworn... Sorry, I'm being paranoid about something now. Ah, what the hell, I think they're all in here. So, I promised once that I would make a fleet to even things out if required. That did end up being required, but it was questioned of me what that fleet would have been.
What have you done?
The Nakmak Feegle. I don't know if you've read Pratchett, but...
I have. What have you wrought? Oh no.
So
first, free teapot.
We have a bunch of these Alta Graves. Just a kneecapper, a reaper, a needler, auto-struct, and ox thrusters. Pixies, yes. Is it wide? It is wide. A couple of the Garegas, these with a Flux Dist and Flux Booster. Atropos, Ion Scatterers. Their system is basically... it's a lot of buffs. The Trihonders, which are very similar but with pulse lasers instead. Ion Torpedoes, Fire Lance, the usual things. I find it hard to explain armor because there's a lot to it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on these things. I have not played with... I don't think I've played with this particular mod. Which mod are those from?
Arma. All of this so far is from Arma.
I haven't played with Arma yet.
I do have one Malinois here, which carries an Arma mech, the LTA Jackhammer, a Regalia mech, and another Arma mech. And then just some kneecappers. We have the Mongeau, which is a mech from HMI, actually. Are you even allowed to take the Einhander? I put through this fleet together in like 40 minutes. So if there's a mistake, fine.
It definitely said blacklisted hull detected.
That's reacting to the fact that I have a Excelsior here.
Cheating in your own exhibition match. I see what you're doing.
Is there more than one kind of Einhander? There is. We also have a couple of Regalia. We have an Exapyco. We have the whole version of the Vic Viper, which I forgot to legalize, but it is in K-Mons. We have a single Firecrow, which is from Fluffs, actually. Using unstable shields because I feel like this is supposed to be good. A couple of Brazier TBs featuring the ED Cluster Cannon, because I wanted to show those off. And a single Marlin, and then a Spade Mark II because I had a point left. What I'm actually most proud of, though, is the names on these, with Wee Free being the thing, all the variant names after birds, and then the names being Teapot Thief, Squirrel Rider, Breaker, He of the Forbidden Kilt, Shiny, Stamp Licker the Sane, River Dancer, Ochai Ken, the Absolute Kegger, Screaming Salty Sam, Incomprehensible One. I don't need to explain that. Smaller than Small Jim Jim, Excessively Tall Simeon, Shadow Skivvies, Crochets with Your Guts, Beagle Forever, Unfortunately Dave, Gotcha by the Ghoulies, Great Good Glorious Grand Gary, Where's Waldo? Here's Waldo. Some of these were too long. And the Sober Box.
You spent most of that 40 minutes coming up with those names, didn't you?
Less time than you'd think. I was having a good day. So I just set this up against a few random fleets. Mostly middling fleets to see how they did. But this is... I took no time to test it or really put it through its paces because it ended up not being needed, but this is roughly what I would have submitted if I needed to even out. I have no idea what it's capable of, or if it will do well at all. All I have is hope. Excelsior, I didn't know it could stay in phase.
Excelsiors are weird, man. Have you played with them much?
No, I threw this in here because DR wanted me to, basically. I already lost the oh, nope, the Excelsior's dying. Okay, good. So I genuinely don't know if this fleet works at all.
I believe a custom AI should attempt to deal with them.
Pretty much everything has auto-struct just to... because I thought it was funny that it would be that hard to kill the Mac Beagle. But auto-struct doesn't really matter on things with such low hull in the first place. Yeah, a lot of my ships appear to have charged the Dreadnought and are immediately dying. So that's good. Ow.
I have news for you. This isn't going very well.
I can see that. At least I'm not going to pull off a win my own tournament like Ruby did. Where did the Excelsior go? The Excelsior is very dead. Down. I don't think I've even killed anything.
Yeah, Excelsior didn't last long at all.
Yeah, the Paragon and the Epatzedex are just murdering everything. I apparently didn't stand much of a chance. Excelsior is still alive? You're right, it is still alive. It's somewhere screaming about being bulletproof. Where is it? There it is, it's playing with the Doom. Hello, Excelsior, are you accomplishing anything? Oh, you've almost killed the Doom, actually, yes. You are accomplishing something, look at you go. How did you avoid getting killed by that Doom mine, sir? And you've overloaded again. And exploded. I didn't know it dealt self-damage off an overload. I assume that's what happened anyway. Nope, that's the fire crow gone. I didn't even get to see what these cluster cannons do. Come on, shoot one. Do you just not have the flux for the cluster cannons? What's up? Oh, well, you are max flux.
It's refusing to lower its shields. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brazier. Did I kill anything?
I haven't seen anything. But I
The
wasn't
Doom has
staring at
like
the kill
a
feed.
sliver left. Come on, kill that at least. There goes another Monjo.
Nope.
There goes that Brazier.
Run into one of your allies and die by accident.
Cluster cannons have limited ammo? Yeah, but they have plenty. There's no way they ran out this fast. What was that? You made a bunch of noises and then overloaded.
I think it was giving you warnings that it was about to overload. Doom, that seems an excessive number of mines. Except it didn't actually get the kill.
Yeah, it didn't. This tiny, tiny thing right here is like 25 or 35 DP. It's some sort of uber fighter.
I kind of hate super fighters like that.
Well, there it goes. I apparently have something left somewhere.
Lightning guns for the kill.
Oh,
Oh, nope. Nope.
Malinoid just died, so that was part of it. What are you? Are you one of the Monjos? I think you are. Yeah, nope, that's a Garega. Do something useful before
Lovely
you die,
sound effects
Garega.
there. Unlikely.
Oh, it's having CR problems too. I should have put more hardened subsystems on things, clearly. Although they can regenerate CR if they get to a carrier, I think, but the carrier is dead now. What was that? You exploded again.
It has something it does when it overloads.
That sounded
Some
like a
special
system
system.
activation, though. Alright, well.
Well, I guess you're. Oh no, no, you killed some
Two
archers.
chihuahuas. Lovely.
Oh,
I forgot
chihuahuas,
to
okay.
make bets on that, but that's okay. You shouldn't bet on me. This is one of the other things that was requested of me. Metal Slug and his Dunsaith Extreme Range Fleet versus Idiopathic's Immortal Fleet.
Well, this should be a slugging match.
Metal asked me to do this because he wanted to know if his fleet was capable of cracking the Immortal Leon Burgers. Basically.
I guess we'll find out.
Let me set a bet for it. Now, you haven't seen Metal's fleet, have you?
I don't think I have. Why don't you walk me through it?
So, for starters here we have an equality fitted out with Eradicator Assault Lasers.
Nice, nice.
And many hull mods. Basically trying to make it a shield tank, which it is at 0.15.
That's obscene.
We have an Adjudicator
0.15?
here with a Styrex Kinetic and Guardian Super Rails, just a decent little cruiser.
And this one has 0.33. What is this? Is this the maximal shield? What does that do?
Maximal shield. Damage resistance up by a factor of 3, full EMP resistance, halved arc, unfolding speed down by 50%, increased flux generation by a factor of 4, it's actually 5.
Yeah, that's a crazy unbalanced hull mod. Okay.
Yes, there are some things that have been done about it for round 2.
Fair enough.
It does
I mean,
make it narrower and cost a lot in terms of your dissipation, so it's not without problems, but...
Sure, it's just that, you know, the downsides can be managed as they did with those other hull mods.
They can be sort of managed. It wasn't ever as bad as the regenerating hull mods, I noticed.
That's fair. Yeah, those ones were... Yeah. Yeah.
We have an Onslaught, naturally. Pretty normal fit. Some Chihuahuas, these ones with Guardians. A Vortex with the fighter version of the Vic Viper that you saw, and the Falks, both of which are very long-range super fighters, being boosted by a Time Axel field. So this is just a nasty strategy. Can we see the equality one more time? Sure, Warrior, here you go.
Wow, 0.15 without any officer skills. That's, yikes.
We
That's
have
gonna be
a
tough.
Bomber Astral here. Again, just kind of a classic. But the real star of the show was this Dunsaith, because it turns out that the Hex Cannon, the projectile counts as a missile, so they stacked a bunch of missile hull mods on it to make the Hex Cannon reach into the stars.
Oh my, they had a...
The range was insane.
Oh, that is just wrong.
And you'll see what I mean.
Oh, that is so wrong. I'm looking forward to watching it.
It was
groaning.
a bug question mark from Vanilla that Yui, who made the Hex, didn't catch.
Well, I mean, Vanilla doesn't have anything that boosts missile range.
A bug in that it's treating that weapon as if it's a missile.
Oh, I see, I see. It wasn't meant to be a missile, it just is.
Yes. You can already see how far away those shot. That is a ballistic
Yes.
weapon. Well, composite, but it was meant to be ballistic.
Right. That shield tank is not doing so well.
No, it's for some reason up here in front with flamed out engines. That's really honestly an awful start.
Now, what damage type are those Dunscape cannons?
Frag, but lots of it. With additional
Gotcha.
damage on impact, I believe.
It should fire them at the Leons, not at the fighters.
That's what Metal wanted, yes.
Yes.
Frag plus energy on impact, thank you, Badger. Instead it's shooting at the distraction frigs. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's what the distraction frigs are for. I mean, it's kind of, right now, it's suffering from the usual problem of ultra long range in that its allies, the allies near it, are not in range of their own guns, but they're blocking.
Yep. For the equality side, if it could crack the armor on one of the Leon Burgers, the Eradicators deal insane frag damage.
Nah, Leons are invulnerable. One Leon could take this entire fleet. That's my headcanon. It's probably not true, but that's my headcanon.
Probably not true.
Probably not true. But there's doubt, isn't there? There's doubt that maybe one Leonberger could take this entire fleet.
This is going really strongly against Metal and Ramirez, but I feel like that's because of some very unlucky positioning to start off with.
The Dunscape has not
Fired
attacked
at the
anything
Leonbergers.
worthwhile so far. I think
Shoot
the
it in the
Dunscape's
arse, come
range is
on!
working against it. It's not close enough to target anything. You know what I mean? It just keeps backing off over and over because it thinks it can outrange, and that just means the rest of the fleet gets killed.
This normally
needs
works
a
out for
reckless
them because
AI.
the Onslaught and the Equality act as frontliners. But all those monitors and irises, man.
Okay, perfect shot here. Now let's get to the Astral, shooting 2. And maybe it can do 10% of the health of this thing before it regenerates.
Ooh, that was a lot of hull in one shot, actually. Did you see that? And now it's got the field on. Still doing damage, though.
Yeah, the Dunscape's shield is pointing in the wrong direction. That's a bit interesting. You know, I take it back. The Dunscape, if it actually fires its guns, is capable of damaging the Leon. But it's not capable of putting its shield in the right direction. And it's overloaded and dead.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
So
this
this
is,
could have worked, is what we've learned.
I don't think it could. I think the Leons are too strong. I really do. This is the full firepower of an Onslaught. Is it going to take it out? It's close.
Very close.
Close. It's nope. The regen is too strong. The regen is overtaking it. Look at that health regen.
Yep.
Thousands of effective damage per second, probably, that it's regenerating.
This has not caused the Onslaught to give up.
Yep, and Leonberger
The Dreadnought can't
is
even
over
fire
a
on the
third
Onslaught,
health.
there's too much in the way. Okay, yeah, just bring the Onslaught over to you and crush 2 of your irises in the process. That's fine.
I hate those things so much.
Yeah, now it's been thrown in front of the Dreadnought. This Leonberger almost died. Christ.
You know, it's things like this that make me advise people not to play with mods for their first 10 or 20 playthroughs. Although I know this is not representative.
It's not, and it's also... I have gone to some lengths to make this impossible to replicate in round 2.
That Leon that was so close to death for the Onslaught, I think is going to end this match at full hit points.
No, there's a limit on how much it can heal.
Oh, okay. That's good. I think you've told me
Uh,
that like 10 times at this point.
Spider, yes, their system makes them invulnerable while they're charging up their RAM, which is something I'm going to change since I'm effectively in charge of ED now. And yes, maximal shields is also getting an adjustment. And by adjustment, I mean I'm limiting what shield hull mods you can stack at the same time as it.
That was a nice Reaper shot there.
Yeah, they almost killed the Leonberger. If the Safe had focused a bit more initially.
It only had 3 capital ships firing it at the same time, including point-blank Onslaught.
Close, Metal. Close. I respect the hustle. This is another one of the fleets I set up to see how well my thing would do. This time just up against Wasara.
cool. We get to see these Dobermans in action. Nice.
I like the Dobermans. But this is another fleet you haven't seen, I don't think. So, Wasara started out with a Paragon with these plasma lens projectors. Did you see what these do?
Yes, I have. They're gorgeous when they hit hull. They cause that cascading explosion effect.
I know, it's beautiful. Then we have two terrifying Dobermans. We have Gardas hyperrail cannons that are being backed up by weighted rounds, and on the modules we have Magara twin-linked. Very long-range
Nice.
kinetic and heavy explosive.
Nice.
Two of them.
I think I have seen this fleet in action. This looks very familiar. Yeah, I've seen this fleet in action.
It
It's a
was
nice
like
fleet.
at the beginning of round 1. Or ring 1, rather.
And against your Nakmakfiegel. Well, no offense, Laharo, but I think this is only going to end one way.
Not a single person has bet on me. That hurts.
Sorry, man. You admitted yourself you threw together your fleet in like 40 minutes without testing.
That's true. I did, because it ended up not being needed.
Well, let's listen to those pretty mech in distress sound effects we're going to get. It's a
Why
lot
did you
of
fire
Reapers.
so many
It's
Reapers at a ship
keeping
in
the-
phase?
Keeping it in phase.
Good, a single
It's
ion
not the
torpedo.
worst idea. They almost got it.
Almost.
Almost. You know, so far your fleet's actually doing fairly well. It's pressuring the other fleet back. I think that Paragon might have something to say about it, though.
The Excelsior is already dead. We do have the Altergraves over here redirecting missiles, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Oh, the Doberman.
Yeah.
DACA.
There's
You
no
need
way to
that
deal with
DACA.
that Doberman. Altergrave dead. Altergrave dead. Paragon's in high flux somehow. Oh, it's taking cluster cannons to the
Yeah, but
boss.
it's all soft flux. I think the Paragon might just be too busy killing things to have its flux be low.
Lurker's taking some damage, but it's dealing more than it's taking, really. Doberman
The
is
AI does
kind of being flanked.
surprisingly well with that phase ship.
Flank it better. I mean, there is another Doberman right behind it, so maybe don't, actually. They're pressuring that Doberman surprisingly hard. One of the modules is almost dead? Almost dead. They backed off from the salvo really quickly, which I'm happy to see.
They are.
Something exploded back there? Oh, it's probably the Brazier about to die. At least it was a pretty death. Oh, a module and the Doberman's dead. How'd you guys manage
Let's
that?
see, they did get one of those modules.
That surprises me. I'm surprised this Doberman is taking up any pressure. These things are horrifying. And it is killing things. So,
Oh, that Grand Salvo passing over allies is...
it's
that's
very
really
sexy.
good.
Also kind of necessary. It didn't used to before, and it would regularly friendly kill.
Yes, I imagine so.
I know, because I went with Edie in Kingdom of Terror during Tartaflet's 10th. I learned the hard way. Fortunately, that was during testing, not during the actual matches. It's the main reason I did not include a Doberman for that tournament. Otherwise, it would have been an amazing idea. I mean, as you see. Wow, one shot past the Viper's shields and it's dead. Yeah, I didn't kill a single thing. Christ.
You might kill something. There might be a frigate somewhere that...
I killed a shield module. That is my claim to fame
Hey,
against
you never
the
know.
Stars fleet.
That Tempest might run into the back of the Doberman and die. Maybe.
I don't think so. That Tempest has barely any hull left, and the Altigrave still couldn't kill it. Thank you for the light show as you die, Altigrave. At least I have that.
Pretty good sound effects.
Again, I hear you activate your system, and then something bad happens to you. What are you? I don't get it. Ah, well.
That was interesting.
The sober box died somewhere off screen. The one thing I like about my fleet is that it's so wide and so mobile that there is no possibility of a battle line against it. Unfortunately, they are not themselves individually strong enough to do anything with it. Shadow Skivvy's down.
Yeah, shieldless ship versus tack lance is there.
I forgot the Mongeau was shieldless, otherwise I might have put on a makeshift. Or maybe the Mongeau is the one with the really weird armor thing that I decided to let it go shieldless. Can't remember.
Well, I think it is regenerating hull, like a heretic.
Yes. Is this
And it
Mongeau
take
all
the
this
rest
time?
of the fleet itself.
Go, Mongeau! Those guns are AG. If the Lurker wasn't in phase, that might do something.
The Lurker, I'm just really impressed by how the AI uses the Lurker. It does remarkably well with it.
I know.
In general, phase AI is much improved. Vent.
Well, come on then. I know I've lost. Thank you for the Tachyon Lance. That'll do it, probably. One more of those? Yep.
Will it? Oh, you have something alive somewhere. Oh, no. Oh, no. Never mind.
No, I don't.
Hey, you got a Tempest.
Oh, good. I got a Tempest. I didn't put this fleet up against, like, Astral Tor and Hrothgar, I don't think, because I thought, maybe that's bullying. I think I built something pretty good here. I did not. Alright. The next thing that we wanted to test was, and yes, Wasara won that, obviously. Christ. Metal, again, wanted to test his fleet against the other insane thing, Ark's missile spam. Again, he had a theory about how that might work out for him. And we did see Ark lose earlier, so maybe it's not impossible. Hey, you never know. Laurel unwrapping his Christmas jumper. Oh, look, I got a Tempest. Obvious disdain. So, Metal's theory here was that his Equality and his Onslaught might be able to weather enough of the storm that with the Saith's extreme range and the Vortex's super fighters, they could start to take Ark's fleet apart.
Well, I wish them luck.
I certainly hope they have more luck with this than they did against Ideo. The match against Ideo's fleet convinced me that it could have worked. Just depending on the dice rolls of what the AI chooses to do that day. The chunks taken off of the Leonberger's hull by the Saith's guns were significant. If it had focused more from the outset, it might have been able to kill him.
Possibly, yeah.
So let's take a look at this. Let's see how your theory plays out, Metal. The one advantage in their favor is that the Saith is so long range that it won't have the problem that other fleets have had against Ark where they can't even close distance. Looks like the equality is going to take the brunt.
Did it not raise its shield?
Not in time.
Oh, right, those missiles are so fast that they break the AI. I forgot about that.
Well, the equality also, I believe, has some hull mods that make the shield stronger, but make them unfold much slower, so that's half the problem. The equality managed to survive, barely. Dunsaith is shooting at some of the missile frigates over there on that side, but it's taking some damage itself as well.
Dunscaith is having a big problem where the shield is getting confused.
It sniped a Herma, though.
Got a kill.
Another Adjudicator down. Metal, your Adjudicators seem to be like the prime victims in the fights you get into. Interesting snipe choice. Ooh, overloaded that archer. Can anyone hit it?
Yeah, the Dunscaith just doesn't fire its guns at very appropriate targets.
Punch.
Like, I mean, that archer is a good one, but
Oh, that poor onslaught. I didn't even see that. Yeah, the onslaught's going down.
you know, I'm actually very unimpressed with the Dunscaith. I think that those guns have range, but they don't seem to have they don't have a high enough fire rate to actually be much of a threat to any of these ships.
In this
Like,
case,
they're
no.
getting
The
some
Dunscaith
chip
pulled off some
damage.
amazing things in the actual Ring 1. Definitely worth going back and seeing. But yeah, here up against two incredibly abusive fleets, it hasn't worked out. I had a rule for maximal shield. Yes, I prevented other shield hull mods being stacked on top of it to manage the weaknesses. I forget which ones exactly. I know that I at least prevented extended and stabilized, and I think one other. Front conversion, because that's basically extended. Which ones? Is it on the document? Did I make a mistake? I shouldn't look at the document right now, there's a fight going on. I'll double check later. It's also possible that I ignored it because maximal I don't remember if I actually put that in the rules or if it was just something I was considering. It's not in that. I must have decided that maximal wasn't that big a deal and left it alone then.
Yeah, that was a shame, unfortunately.
It was. Only fault line? Okay. Yeah, nobody bet on metal. I'm sorry. Oh, right, I prevented fault line plus fortress because of the bug involved. So, here we have another little surprise. Badger's other fleet. So, before the round 2 adjustments, Badger had a fleet that he chose not to go with because it was massively, massively abusive. He called it the Horror Wurg. So, central thing here, hardened, accelerated, hardened, stabilized, extended, right? Engine thing back here is just basically some point defense and auto-struct, hardened. Oh god, a Wurg. We have on this side Pincher Interceptors, Papillon Bombers, and a Wasp, along with some Nixuses and some Seths. Again, auto-struct and hardened. Same on this side. Gun modules sport Gravitons, Hypervelocity Drivers, and Magna Blasters. And the Jaws have Fault Line, Stabilized, Extended, Hardened, Auto-struct, and by the way, Fortress Shield. There's a reason I prevented Fault Line plus Fortress Shield. You will find out now. Supporting this, we have a Lurker, because they're just kind of sweet. A bunch of distraction monitors, a second Lurker, some of the metalheads from his other actual fleet, and some of the Bitzers from likewise. He is the one who suggested which fleets to put it up against because he's pretty sure it's invulnerable, so here comes ASK. Did you get a look at ASK's fleet, by the way?
I have not. I think I saw it in action.
ASK's fleet was completely insane. I loved it. So first we have a Leon Burger that's using a point defense gun as a primary gun for some reason, by the way. It has exchanged its phase field for a damper field and has given itself auto-struct, along with a couple of other things.
So this is... The whole mod is very close to the other indestructible Leon Burger.
I wouldn't say it's that close. He went far less towards immortal and far more towards being able to kill things.
Fair enough.
If this had been it, I might not have been so harsh with the regenerating hull mods, because this one wasn't too bad. We have a couple of Doogs, boasting hecatons, heavy blasters, their mine layer systems, and their mine teleporters.
Ooh.
These ones have time excel instead of phase field.
Lovely.
We have the Octobers, which just have the very long-range strategic missiles. A couple of Lurkers, because we all love Lurkers. And a single Afflictor.
Let's see how it does.
I have never seen the Horror Wurg in action. So I don't know precisely if this is as bad as Badger says it is. That was a poor choice, Mr. Lurker. There it goes. He called it the Horror Wurg because, rather than being able to murder everything, he made something by his words that is essentially invincible. Similar to the
that
immortal
seems to be a theme.
Burgers. And we can watch this little ring in the center to know when/if it's going to fire the Uber laser. He is taking losses so far. Lurker duel is interesting, of course. Oh, what? Okay, Horror Wurg loses. Somehow both jaws got blown off by a Doog's hecatons.
Gotta love ships that can vent with their shields up.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that was interesting. It doesn't seem very immortal at all.
Okay, then.
It doesn't really seem to have done much, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Wargondal support is indirect because it has mind strikes and a lot of wings. It's probably why that October just died over there.
Right, yeah.
Lurker fight, obviously they teleport away. I don't know whether I should be happy or distressed that ED showed up so much in this tournament. I'd like to think just because they look cool and have really cool systems, but I worry. Ooh, that's most of that Afflictor's health.
I wonder why that Afflictor did not enter phase. Does it have a time excel instead or something?
It probably does. It's the systems, I hope. They're also a bit more out there compared to the very vanilla mods, more faction-y. That's true. They have a very distinctive design. Even without its jaws, the Wargondal is still putting up a fight. just not capable of firing the Uber laser anymore, nor does it have the huge shields.
Now, do we know what exactly caused those jaws to explode?
I think a Doog managed to snipe in a bunch of hecatons right in the gap. Because there's a tiny, tiny gap you can technically get in.
That was a magnificent lurker teleport there.
It was. I would almost say rematch this one. We have a few fleets to go through and the Horror Word will show up again. We might rematch it if we have enough time at the end. Hello, Leon Burger.
See, this is interesting because the other Leon burgers, were they reckless and this is only aggressive?
I don't know.
Because I would expect that Leon burger to be charging, based on the performance of the other ones.
Hard to say which one of them would win this.
Yeah, I mean, the Leon burger's not actually losing hit points.
But then it's also not doing much damage to the War Gundal, which also has auto-struct.
Oh, it has auto-struck too?
Yeah, every portion of this work has auto-struct.
Oh, well, so that fight then it goes to CR. I don't think either of them has the firepower to actually hurt each other.
Not at the moment. Badger's Lurker is still awake. Might not be enough, though.
Ooh, that was a good mind strike on the Leon burger.
It was. That's the thing, the Wurg still has that and all its wings. The Wurg probably does have the firepower if it's able to focus it entirely on the Leon.
Well, it's certainly putting out a lot more than it was before. I mean, so did you end up banning auto-struct completely for the next phase?
No, I prevented it from being used alongside a lot of other things, but it is ultimately still here. I didn't want to completely break certain fleet concepts. Just prevent them from being immortal. Are you two the only things left? Oh, no, actually, Badger's Lurker and Monitor are also alive. The rest of ASK's fleet is dead? All ASK has is this Leon burger.
Yep. Nice.
Which...
It's, you know, it is slowly getting chipped down. Its health regen is not quite keeping up with the full Super Capital's arsenal.
Despite losing its jaws, Badger might have won this after all. I mean, he has a Lurker left. That's a fair bit of additional DPS.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think the Leon can win on its own against all of these here, simply because it's fighting another it's fighting another ship that repairs itself, and it doesn't have the DPS necessary.
I would
so
agree.
There's, you know, if nothing else, this would go to CR, and the Leon
will
would
win
lose.
CR.
Yeah.
It has
I mean,
Hardened
Leon,
and a very high PPT.
Yeah, while we've been talking, the Leon has actually gained hit points instead of lost hit points, but now it's back down again.
Yeah, I ran into a mine. It can't afford to do that.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm gonna hit speed up here in a minute. I want to see if the Lurker does anything. Oh, the Lurker is doing something.
It's firing, which is great.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank
Finally,
you,
I got
Lurker.
to see a Leon burger die.
Okay, I thought that when the jaws blew off that Badger would lose that, but no. The Wargondal is still a Dreadnought. I forgot to put bets up for that. Who cares?
Now, how many million damage do you think that Leon took?
It's a good question.
You know?
I mean, its hull is at 22,000. So, quite a bit.
So it's probably regenerating 1,000 a second or something? Probably something to that end?
So this was... So you're aware that Hrothgar and Burnt Pies lost every single match they had.
I was. It was very sad.
So did Astral Tor.
Ooh!
So you know what's
We
happening.
get a...
Astral Tor went for a phase fleet. So we have here Doom with AMBs, Needlers, and Reapers. Harbingers with phase lances and Mizoa plasma guns. And Thresh warheads despite only having like 2 Reapers, I don't know why. A Leon Burger, because why not? This one not with any kind of regeneration though, just 2 big shield breakers, some Reapers, and a few normal home ones.
So this is a Leonberger as the ED balance is supposed to be, not with all the other stuff slapped on top of it.
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay, so I'm very interested in seeing how this does because, you know, my impression of Leonberger is just like, haha, this is broken bullshit. But this will hopefully save my opinion of it.
We have an Aristeus, which has an Ars-facing Cyclone, despite the fact the AI has no idea what to do with that.
What?
Strawblick and Zyphos. And an Aristeus with a properly Ars-facing tracking missile, the Trebuchet.
I could see a Locust also being pretty good back there.
Yep. We have 2 Phasegons.
Phasagon.
The Phasagon is an awful, awful ship. In an attempt to remedy this, he's given a Time Excel instead of Phase Field, which actually works out for pretty well, just not enough. We have a Plasma Lunge Projector sat next to a Hogglestherm for this.
And just a random free ordnance point?
Yes, he told me that was intentional, I'm not going to question it. Also Chihuahuas with Porphyrions, and a Flamethrower Spade.
Nice. Let us see how it does.
And, I really need to be putting in the bets for these.
Lobster. Lobster bet time.
Here you go. That 1 OP triggers me, I think that's the point? Probably. The 1 OP is just here to annoy people. Hey Skypion, it's been a while. Good to see you.
Phasagon. It's going to die, it is a Phasagon.
The Phasagon is equal DB to the Paragon, but absolutely does not earn it. This time acceleration is the closest they've come to being really effective. And in fairness to them, it does work really well, it just wasn't enough to secure a victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard being a shieldless ship.
Yep. Accelerating that kind of ordnance worked really well, just not enough. I've said it several times. So that's sort of what a Leonberger is supposed to do. Jump in and out of phase, yanking things around with its magnets, and opening with heavy fire. As you see it attempting to do to this Liberator.
Yeah, that seemed quite successful.
And the Phasagon's following it up. A Marauder over here is dead. Phasagon is at full flux, though.
Oh, that is an overload and another two Reapers into it. That's a dead ship.
The main reason the Leonberger is invincible when using its system ramming is because it is normally a phase ship like this. I'm going to reduce it to damage reduction and not total invincibility, but still. That was cruel. That's just a bungalow, man.
That was quite well done for the Leonberger. That was actually the appropriate target to pick.
And then a bunch of Reapers and Mines on the bungalow. So overkill. It's just a bungalow.
You know, this phase fleet is actually dominating pretty hard here.
So out of the 2 Lost Streak fleets, it looks like maybe Astral Tor had the better concept. Which is kind of harsh for Hrothgar and Burnt Pies.
You know, sometimes things just don't work out, and it sucks when that happens.
The Mega Shield Breakers are, as you can see here, basically kinetic shotguns.
I mean, this Leon is still ridiculous, but it doesn't look like it's immortal ridiculous, which is the big problem.
No, and it's a fairly expensive ship. I think 72?
Yeah, I mean, things are allowed to be ridiculous when they cost as much as a capital. That's okay.
And it's usually really hard to do phase capitals right, so I'm almost inclined to be kinder to it. 52, I apologize. I must
It
be thinking
seems
of
quicker
something
than
else.
a Doom.
Bye, Acclimator. How are the phase guns doing? Surprisingly well. They normally die pretty quickly because they redline themselves and then they don't have a shield.
I love those plasma lens projectors.
They're so pretty.
They're just gorgeous.
Oh,
I don't even care that they are also good guns. They're just so pretty.
I know, right? It is always a huge shame if a pretty gun isn't also a decent gun, though.
True.
The lightning gun was like that for a little while. Well, Astral Tour is managing to take this fleet apart. Fairly
Yep.
effectively.
That they are.
It kind of makes me surprised he didn't win any of his other fights.
Yeah, I mean this is a pretty solid showing from what I've seen, so it is a bit surprising.
And there's a
Ooh,
bunch
good
of
number of
mines
mines in
right
there.
Enough
That's gonna
PV to
hurt.
kill most of them, but not all.
I think one of the Condor's fighters ran into one and detonated it prematurely.
What are you doing, Leonberger? Oh, you're playing with an Ignis. The Ignis is a damper field frigate, that's why it's still alive. Ow! The Plasma
That
Lens feels like it
Phase-Gun
does so
is
much
not
more
doing
against
very
long
well.
holes like this. The Phase Gun is dying, though. Yep. That's usually been one of the sticking points with Astral Tour. The Phase Guns will eventually just die. Because they have
Right.
no shields, and not even any real armor. But they're too big a target, and not very, mobile.
Ooh, Harbinger just got sniped.
Yep.
It wasn't really sniped, but caught with it. I think the Leon pulled. What is that?
This?
Yeah.
Naktkasang.
Ah, right.
I know the names for, like, everything. I play with too
The
many
Leon-
mods.
The Leon pulled the Noctisonct so close that the Harbinger didn't have time to phase before it was killed.
Yeah. I don't really know what the answer to your question is, Ravar. Hrothgar and Pies put together, like, a really good generalist fleet. It just wasn't good enough to secure any victories, and I guess it was weak enough that Astral Tour strategy was able to function against it. Sort of. It is kind of coming apart now. I'm not sure why. They had so much momentum and all of a sudden they've lost it. I mean, I think they're still going to win, but... Low CR from phase? That's true. Although, even the Harbinger is only at 40. Regalia down to the Plasma Lens. Also, yeah, Pies, Blacksmiths are lovely missiles. The Phoenix multi-roll bomber is actually one of my favorites for that reason. That and because it'll keep fighting afterwards. Yeah, the invuln from the system is the only reason the Leonberger doesn't die when doing those rammings. And even then, I think it took some damage. I don't over here, Doom. Playing with the Nakasong and the Ignis. That poor Condor.
Splat.
Just kill the Ignis already. Oh, the Doom's out of flux. Leonberger, rescue! Are you gonna yank the Ignis up the... Yep, you are.
Ooh, that was... Oh, I wanted to get a kill that way.
I know,
wanted
that
to
would
get
have
a
been
double
hilarious.
kill
It
that
would have
way.
killed them both if only it had done slightly more damage. Oh, there goes
There
the
we
Ignis.
go. The Phasagon did do a lot of damage to the Noctisong.
It did, it did.
I think that Doom's about to die, though.
I agree. Yep, didn't quite get out of range.
There's no real reason for it to die. It still had flux left.
Oh,
But
there's Phase Gone left. I guess it's the reason that Regalia over there died. Kudos for somehow living. Why did you fire those Reapers, sir? At what? That'll be it for the Naka song.
yeah, it's out of position. Phasagon's got it on the side. The other Phasagon died fighting it, but did do quite a bit of damage. So there we go. Plasma lens for the win.
Oh, congratulations, Astral Tor. You're the better of the 2-0 fleets.
The fight actually ended up closer than I expected from the beginning.
It did, it did. Which I guess is good. The next one we have is me testing out the Nakmak Fecal again, this time against Yui and her nonsense. And I'm going to lose. Because Yui's is really well put together.
Well, do you still want to do it then, or do you want to?
Oh, I'll absolutely watch it, just because Yui's fleet is fun to watch in action.
Nice.
But I am going to lose. So what did we learn? Phase Gun is balanced, Noctica Song needs a buff. I don't think that's what we learned. Yui, so you remember Idiopathic's Immortal Fleet, right?
Oh yeah.
Over the course of refitting her fleet, Yui shared a screen from the game of her having beaten Idio's fleet.
Nice.
And I have no idea how she did it. I suspect it has something to do with the ramming damage. Ow, that is a lot of damage on the mitigator. Gronendale rescue, though. All the dusts got redirected, too. Gronendale's under a lot of pressure.
I mean, kind of, I think. Is it dissipating hard flux? Oh no, it's not.
It's
Never mind.
not. It's just about overloaded.
Yeah, it looks like its charge was stopped.
Part of the problem is it's in front of the Altergraves, which can redirect missiles, and the Gronendale is consistently spitting out lots of dust missiles. Hey, I killed a Lamprey drone. That doesn't actually count for anything. Yep, there's one Altergrave. The Altergraves are definitely like some of the coolest ships, but they're also some of the bigger and slower targets. Yep, so they keep dying like that. Another Gronendale rescue, this time for the Colatlas. It is surrounded, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, it seems to be tough enough that it doesn't really care about being surrounded by these ships. Like, its flux is going up, but...
Immediately after the rescue swap, it temporarily gets a fortress shield, which is part of it. It might die here, though.
It is taking significant hull damage. Yeah, I think it's going to go down.
Not sure what killed the Altergrave's leg there just now. And that's the Gronendale, at least. What's happening with the rest of the fleet? Some skirmishing over there. That Brazier is going to die. Oh, Christ, that Brazier is dead. 4 Reapers, really? So, the brunt of my fleet that killed the Gronendale. What are you all gonna do now? Play with some fighters. Good for you. What was that explosion? Excuse me?
It blew up.
I... Okay.
Familiar.
Not sure what happened. It still got the armor module.
I think the one thing I dislike
about...
most implementations of mechs is that they tend to be very small, but they're super ships, which I don't like.
Why do you not like super ships, Thago? Enlighten me.
No. I don't mind super ships. I don't like small super ships.
Okay.
Because I feel like they manage to mitigate a lot of the disadvantages of normal super ships while just being little kitey bastards. So, for example, the Dunscape is almost a super ship, right? Like, it's a badass big capital.
Right.
But it's still a slow, big ship. You can flank it, you can gang up on it. If you get in front of its main guns, you're probably dead. But there are things you can do. Whereas if you have like these little super ships, you can't flank them because they're faster than you. You can't really do anything. All you have to do is fire a lot and hope that they run into your bullets.
And yet, I very rarely see small super ships do well, because it only takes one mistake for them to die.
That's fair. Well, I think I might be working on some old knowledge where they actually did have decent hull and armor. Like where they actually have a cruise, like 1,500 armor, 20,000 hull kind of thing. But yeah, small little like Hyperions, they're okay because they're so fragile.
Okay. Warrior's asking you something, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the more up-to-date thing. I'm now looking at chat. Do you think the Rakia is a good super ship? I haven't played with Rakias in a long time. Last time I played with them, they were very fun, but I don't know if any changes happened since then. That was a long time ago. Have the Rakias been updated recently?
Not much, I don't think.
Okay.
Cygnus wants to know what the definition of a super ship is.
So in my opinion, what is a super... So I'm a curmudgeonly old person. I think a super ship is a ship that is significantly more powerful than its size class. Generally is. So like, you could... I don't think a Paragon is quite a super ship. Like it's more powerful than the average capital, but it's not insanely more powerful. Like the Doom is a super ship for a cruiser. It's just right now with the current balance of the game, it's just like way more powerful than any other cruiser. The Hyperion it's a super ship because it's way more powerful, but it's not broken, I don't think. So that's my personal definition, take it or leave it. Mad Badger seems to like it. Thank you, Mad Badger. What do you think about super ships, Laurel?
So, generally, right. In the cruiser and destroyer classes, it's kind of hard to tell because the DP ranges are much wider for those. Usually.
That's very true. Yeah, you have everything from like 6 to 7 for civilian destroyers.
So for me, like the classifications are Dreadnought and Super Frigate, right? And a
all the way
Dreadnought
up to 15, 16 for like the heavy destroyers.
Yeah. For me, a Dreadnought, while often modular by necessity, I think those can be really cool as long as they are costed appropriately, but it can be really hard to make those work right from a code perspective because of how the game deals with that. A Super Frigate, on the other hand, despite regularly trying to play with those, I just don't have much success with them. They tend not to have enough punch for their DP compared to a cruiser of similar DP, and they make one mistake and they die. Also, you're a bean, apparently.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. Skypion is my resident nonsense person.
I do like nonsense. Well, I shall take my bean status proudly. I believe I am a garbanzo bean, and I shall use my, I don't know, bean powers for good. Oh no, Bert Pie's thinking I'm a bean too. What does it mean?
Like that Vic Viper just now, the tiny thing. Incredible offensive power, but just couldn't use it, made a few mistakes, dead. Range is a big part of why super frigates sometimes struggle as well. What do I have left? Oh, there's a Mongeau up here. I don't pilot anything, so my opinions are colored by the fact that I allow the fleet to do what it wants.
There definitely are like a class of ships that are so much better in player hands that it does color my opinions of them.
Yeah, which I understand.
Yeah, it's just a different way of, you know, a little bit of a different way of looking at things that can make a difference.
Is there a reason you're not dead yet, Mongeau? You're not taking much damage.
It seems to have very tough armor.
It does.
Like it, yeah, but it has no shield, so that kind of makes up for it.
Yes. How much more armor can you possibly have? I mean, you are taking hull damage now.
It looks like it has maybe 1,000 armor rated, and then multiple sections that spread out on, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. It's just a guess from looking at that last damage number.
It's dead
there
now
it
is
goes.
what it is.
Yeah. I think once the armor went down, or maybe if the sides are modules, once they were no longer blocking.
Where is it? Mongeau, armor, 780.
Okay, 780. Yeah.
And it has some sort of weird hull mod as well.
Cool.
I'm sorry for those few of you who bet on me. Yui obviously earned that. So here's another one of some interest. ASK's completely Mondo fleet versus ARC's missile nightmare.
And this is the slightly less immortal Leon Burger. It has the hull regen, but it's not stacking everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Missing ships is also in my possession from sight, and the Nagato, while it will continue to be a super ship, is going to be more balanced in future.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet on Arc on this one. Their missiles are very good. It feels weird to bet against a regenning Leon Burger, but Arc almost managed it last time. So, with 2 of them. So I think it has the raw damage to take out that Leon.
What about the Pelagornis? Same thing. Probably modular hangars. And yeah, ASK's fleet is such well-designed chaos. I wanted to win. Goodbye, lurkers.
Oh my god.
I knew that was going to happen because they like to teleport right into the center, and there is a cooldown on that teleport. So they were going to take all of the missiles immediately.
A big part of the power of Archangel's fleet is the speed of the missiles. They're so fast. And it catches ships by surprise.
Yep. Leon Burger bravely swimming right into the center.
I mean...
A bit too bravely.
We'll see. Well, there goes the Spectre and a Razorback.
Yep.
That was a double kill, I think.
ASK's Octobers back here are throwing those strategic missiles in.
There goes another Spectre. You know, other than the... You know, the Leon is taking damage, but...
There goes about half its hull to the Hecatons. And the Leon doesn't have much offensive power besides the ramming. There it goes.
Yeah, there it goes. Enough Hecatons will take it down, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately ASK's chaos was not enough for this. The Nagato is getting a name change. I'm refitting most of missing ships into a faction. So most of them are getting renamed. I can help you with basic modding, Eleanor, if you need. Is there anything left? There is something left. What? Where? Oh, a Doog.
Oog. It is not long for this world, but it's hanging on better than I expect.
It's very spitefully trying to kill this Mercury. It succeeded!
Hooray! You killed a frigate!
Oh, I killed a small handful of ships.
Better than nothing.
A few people bet on ASK. I appreciate that. So, this was a weird request of me. Do you remember Donation Box's fleet? It's a Ring 1 fleet, so maybe not.
Oh yeah, I saw this one. I did see this one fight.
I was asked to put this one up against Adeo solely because they use the same Dreadnought.
Hopefully we'll get to see an attack duel.
Hopefully. Name all ships after species of otters. I did go with a convention, but it wasn't otters, I'm afraid. Good to see you though, otters. So, Donation Box in Ring 1 did well. Not amazing, not poorly, just well. He had a good fleet. These safety overridden, regenerating junkers, the Apatsud X, pretty good Paragon build, a Doom for backup, couple Condors, just a really well put together fleet. And then we all know what's happening over here.
Leon, packed good. Packed good.
An almost immediate Shiba kill, but it managed to get itself out. Something just got eaten by the Leon Burgers, one of the Junkers looks like.
Yeah, I think a creep. And let's see how fast the Leons take out a Paragon via ramming. I love how the Leon can take a Reaper, and it just doesn't... I don't even think it breaks the armor completely.
Nope. Looks like we might get to see the Dreadnought duel. This Dreadnought has a lot of like harsh distraction frigates though, which is not going to help. On the other hand, this side has overridden Junkers. Maybe it evens out. This poor Paragon.
We'll see. I think those Dreadnoughts are going at each other.
Sort of.
Oh, they were for a second.
They're like halfway going at each other. Unfortunately, Adeos
there's a
is
module
winning.
overload. Oh yeah, this is not going to last too long. Those distraction frigates distracted just enough.
Yep. And are continuing to. That is just an Iris right in the way.
Yeah, that Iris did good. It took the pressure off the northern attack good for actually a pretty long time and let it dissipate some of its flux.
How's the Paragon doing? Still alive somehow. Where are the Leon Burgers? Oh, they're both playing with a Roach King, which has managed to deal damage to this one. That was mean. You may have taken my modules off. I'm going to ram them into your face. That's actually pretty cool.
It might get a kill on that forward module.
Nope. Bold strategy.
Unfortunately, those two Leons are still running around.
Yeah, and there's probably not enough firepower to deal with them.
Who knows? Maybe they'll get CR'd out chasing monitors. Paragon might out CR them.
If something was going to win by CR, it's going to be the Dreadnought up here.
Ah, true.
Roach King down here is dead. I might hit speed up because I don't think it's much of a question what happens from here. This Paragon is just sitting here being distracted by a monitor.
I would not object to a speed up here. I think this is pretty foregone, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
We get to see the Packer take apart the Paragon. That's nice.
Leon helped.
Crunch.
Yeah, the Dreadnought, the Apache X is pretty serious. Even a Paragon can't put up much of a fight against it. Goodbye, Invincible. You weren't. If I had to call something a super frigate be the Monitor, what do you see more of? Yeah? The system Fortress Shield is kind of ridiculous. So, no bet on donation, unfortunately. So we have Horror Word one more time, this time versus Ark's Missile Fleet. You there, Fago?
Yep, I'm just chilling.
Okay, just checking. Thought maybe the sound cut or something.
I'm just gonna bet on Archangel here. It's, you know...
It's a safe bet.
Yep. It's not that this is a bad fleet. It even won last time, but, you know... Let's see if this time those Jaws survive better.
This time the Lurker's phased after teleporting, and a lot of those missiles are just... wasted. Not all of them. Not enough of them. But some. Good luck, Badger. Yep.
Yeah, that Steelhead's gonna go down even before about half the missiles managed to get to it.
Yep. A Mercury and a Razorback have both died, and I'm not sure what killed them. It must be the Mind Strike from the Wurg.
Yeah, I've seen some mines around, so...
Speaking of, hello, Wurg.
A little bit of damage stuck through that hole. Just a little bit.
Yep. As long as it's on the sides, the Wurg can take much missile punishment.
I mean, it can vent with its shield, with another shield fully up. I mean, that's just, yeah, that's the thing. It's one of those things. How are the flux on those frontal, prongs doing?
The one that's actually facing towards Arc Fleet occasionally gets a little bit, and then it goes back down.
Oh, so it's a Fortress Shield, but instead of a Fortress Shield that builds up flux, it's a Fortress Shield that dissipates flux.
It's because of the series of hull mods stacked on it, which is no longer a legal combination. Badger warned me that if I hadn't done something about that, was going to be in round 2.
You know, I really wonder about, you know, how those exploded that very first round.
I'm still not sure.
Because this has taken, like, I've seen some rounds go through that gap, but they didn't do much.
There's another gap back here, though, and if that engine module comes off, I think the entire Wurg dies.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's taken a little bit of damage.
There's a Spectre over here distracting it. Of course, it's trying to block things with that Omni Shield so that it can build up hard flux for the massive laser.
I would say that a fortress shield of this size, yeah, it's just the hard flux dissipation. Without that, fortress shields are a thing and fine, but with it, it's really abusive. But that's okay. Ooh, a bunch more damage to the engine module.
Yep. The engine module does have auto-struct, so it can take that as long as it doesn't have it consistently.
Oh, of course it has auto-struct. These hull mods are ridiculous.
Yeah.
You'd have to be unusually gullible to use them. Sorry, I'm kidding.
I know. It is my fault, though. Partially for not having an assistant during the tournament because I neglected how much that helped. Partially that I just shouldn't have been that enthusiastic about, such a new mod.
I mean, they are cool. There's a lot of cool things in them.
Well, despite the Warg's survival, it hasn't actually dealt much damage to the rest of Ark's fleet.
Well, let's see if it can survive long enough. Ooh, those are some big hits.
Those hit the jaws.
That
Nearly
right
snapped
jaw
them
is,
off.
That right jaw is almost down. It's very close. But it has an auto-struck too, right?
Yep. It'll slowly repair, but it won't have armor anymore. Another hit like that could do it. And occasionally you see it redirect missiles and they pass over it harmlessly.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's a cool system. Yep, there's another Hecaton slip through. But again, you can just see how broken auto-struct is. Like, even when the shots get through, they don't really matter unless you can get another follow-up shot very quickly.
Yeah, sufficient burst. Yeah, if they don't kill it in time, they will lose to CR.
I think my biggest problem with defensive systems like this is that it's not very interesting to watch.
It's very boring.
Yeah, the Leons are... While the Leons have CR, they're fun because they're ramming things. Even though I hate them, I can still admit that they're fun.
We will be here a while, so I'm not going to feel guilty about this. Badger!
See, Mad Badger says there's a special effect that can kill the Jaws.
Yes, and he referenced the Doritos when he said that. But also if it fires the big laser. Because I believe that requires dropping the shields. It should have charge now. It might well fire the laser. Drop the shields for a moment for some reason.
Actually gone down at all this entire fight.
It is firing the laser now, and there wasn't anything a moment ago, but a ghoul has decided this is where I want to be. So, have fun with that. Don't know why you thought that was a good idea. Jaws are overloaded. Nope, do you have more than that, Legion?
Can enough Hecaton hits come in?
Ooh, one of them was blocked by a Seth drone. That might have saved it. That single Seth drone saved it.
Yep. There goes the Atlas Mark II. Fortress Shield is back up. Probably won't fall again for the rest of the fight unless it decides to fire the laser again.
I like how it completely misaims the laser and then something just wanders into the laser.
Right, though. How are the Jaws now? How's their hit points?
They are both at, let's call it 80%, which I don't think they can go any
Okay,
higher than that.
gotcha.
About 4 hecatons in there would do it. So yes, this was a warning for the kind of abuse that Badger figured was capable with the Wurg. I'm not sure if I dislike this or Idiopathics Immortal Fleet more. Because they both do a very similar thing where it just takes forever. And actually Idiopathics goes faster because of the ramming.
I would say this one is, yeah, you're right. It's very similar. This one has some little vulnerabilities, but it's also just 95% of the ship is covered by a continual fortress shield at all times.
I would say this
Just
one
like
is less vulnerable. It's the gaps or nothing.
That's true. Okay, well then. That was the thing.
So that is one of the things that can kill missile abuse. Fortress shield abuse. This is, once again, something I did this time versus Eleanor's fleet, because I really liked Eleanor's fleet. I don't think you will lose, Eleanor. While I have some pride in what I've constructed here, it has not gone well, has it? Plus, your fleet was really well put together. Genuinely, I'm quite fond. I'm gonna watch the Excelsior. Let's see how long it takes it to die.
Excelsior.
The Excelsior is going to be looking for projectiles, but there's not a lot of projectiles in Eleanor's fleet. It's mostly lightning guns and lasers.
All the fine things in life.
Where's Waldo? Here's Waldo is already taking damage. All to grave dead. All to grave dead. All to grave dead. Soberbox dead. The Altar Graves are cool, but they're just not capable of enough for being such noteworthy targets. Altar Grave dead. I haven't even done damage to anything. Marjo dead. I even got out EMC'd? Yes, by a point. I didn't actually look at ECM at all when I was doing this, so any ECM is entirely coincidental. That poor brazier, that is overkill. He has 20% bonus speed as well? Probably. And yeah, the Kronos is really good against smaller ships, which most of my fleet is. So I don't... Were you serious at all, Eleanor, when you were worried about losing a moment ago? Because this never stood a chance. Hello, Excelsior. I see you're not dead yet. Fascinating. You're also screaming about being bulletproof again. You're not. I promise you, you're not. Since most of my ships are mechs, most of their armaments come as stated. There wasn't a lot I could add. Do something, Excelsior, and make DR proud. How about you, Vic Viper? Nope, you exploded as soon as I looked at you. Okay. If nothing else, my fleet is annoying, I guess. It's certainly hard to hunt them all down and kill them. Not that it's hard once you finally get in range. Goodbye, Regalia. I almost included a Darnus, actually. Just because, look at this little thing, it's adorable. And I love that little jump.
I like the cloud effect there. It's a very nice visual.
It's really pretty. I ultimately ended up going with a couple of the Exapyco instead because I was pretty sure nobody was going to use those. But the Exapyco ended up not being very good. Despite the fact I think it also has a pretty jump system. Where is the Exapyco? Do I have one left? Somewhere? Alive? Maybe? Are you an Exapyco? You are. Do the pretty thing for me. Or die. You could do that too. Yeah, death. What's left? A Brazier, which is about to not be left. The Malinois, the destroyer-grade Regalia. The entire fleet is aggressive, by the way, except for that Malinois. Which is instead on cautious, because its only job is to stay back and provide the mech wings. And yet, despite being aggressive, my fleet seems to hold off a lot. Maybe I should have gone for reckless.
Well, I think that's just a function of being really outweighted in any given particular area. Like, if you're fighting 2 caps and 2 cruisers, you know, a single cruiser grade ship just isn't going to want to close the distance.
Yeah. Sorry, Melanoy. Is that it? That's it. None of your ships are cataphracts, and thus none could dock carriers? Really? I thought the Altigrape was. Nobody bet on me. I deserve that. Hi, Akuma. Is there not music playing? There is not music playing. How dare you? Alright. Horror Word versus Yui. This one was requested because there was apparently some curiosity as to whether ramming could kill the Horror Word. Which I think is a fair question. Excelsior was phasing when it should not be able to. Good. That's what I want to know. Now, I am actually interested in this. Thank you, Howler. Thank you, Howler. Because I think the ramming could work? And I feel as though Yui shouldn't have much trouble with the rest of the fleet. Lurkers aside, those are always going to be at least somewhat effective. our metalhead. Wow. That mitigator was really focused on trying to kill the metalhead. I think it's been a while since I've seen a capital focus that much on trying to kill one thing before getting distracted. Gronendale blocks the lurkers from getting a kill. Hopefully not turning into the kill. Mitigator kills its friend. Good.
No. We have a little bit of lurker teleportation going on. That was a good teleport.
Yep. Almost took a couple of Reapers.
I don't really think anything is going to be able to harm that work, to be honest.
I think ramming could do it, but they'd have to focus. And those lurkers are a problem. Another near miss with Reapers on those things. Hello, Hosu312. Thank you. I appreciate it. What you doing over here, Clatlas? You gonna ram the word? I'd like you to ram the word.
Now, why do you think ramming would work? Wouldn't it just get caught on the fortress shield and kill whatever ship is ramming?
Partially because ramming can do pretty intense amounts of damage, which might be enough. Partially because ships act weird when they get rammed.
Do you think they might clip through the shield to do some damage to the inside?
Or it might drop the shields. Like, I don't know how much you remember of the 10th tournament, but did you remember how things got really weird about Kingdom of Terra closing in with the drills?
Yes.
That's sort of what I'm thinking of here. I don't know that it'll work. Plus, this mitigator looks like it's going to die.
That's fair. I don't think Kingdom of Terra was up against anything as tough as, like as defensive as these.
True.
Because like a normal Paragon lowers its fortress shield because it needs to vent and worry about its flux. But this doesn't. This has infinite flux on its fortress shields. So it's, I feel like it's not quite the same.
Why are we listening to Cave Story? Because I'm in charge of your life. Quiet. Ooh, Reaper hits the lurker. And another one. And another one. And 3 more. Little excessive, but hey, it worked. And then ram the lurker's corpse. Yes, jolly good. Just send it flying away. Not your real Ed? How do you know, Metal? Both mitigators are turning to face the Wurg. Well, the monitors. Kind of the Wurg. In the Wurg's general direction. Just joined what's going on? Exhibition matches. Nothing official. Just for fun stuff. And in this case, for warning. That metalhead is still alive somehow. Oh, the Gronendale got killed. Yep, by a lurker. Not too surprising, I guess. Because shut up. Have you cleaned your room, young man? Horror movies. Yeah, despite being consistently targeted, the metalheads are surviving-ish. This one is redlined and on very low hull, but it's still alive. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Ram the word. That is many Reapers. Unfortunately,
I was hoping for a second those Reapers would sneak through, but they did not.
yeah, for a moment I was hoping. It's almost sneaking Mjolnir shots in, but neither Jaw has taken armor damage. And the mitigator's backing way off for some reason.
think it's just higher flux.
I mean, it is also a somewhat terrifying ship. Is that ship unkillable? Practically. We saw it die once, for reasons that we still don't completely understand.
Well, no, it's still a 1. We just saw it lose its jaws once.
Right.
Even
It did
with the
become
jaws
killable
down.
in that instance, though. Theoretically.
Yes.
Oh, Kalatlas Ram. Just poke the Wurg over in that direction.
You know, I think that ram did actually do a bit of damage to the jaws. I think it clipped through the shield.
You're right, the jaw does appear to have taken damage right at the tip there.
Yeah, the shield didn't go down, but I think it managed to clip through.
Another ram. Sending it over that way this time.
Well, it's
Into a
flamed
friend.
out. Yeah, it's flamed out, so it can't stop. There it goes. That was quite amusing.
My fleet would be worked against this fleet. That's right, Eleanor has a forced shield disruption gun. Huh. I don't know if it would work consistently enough.
Is that still venting?
If the jaws vent, they will never stop venting. That's the buggy risk with Faultline Fortress.
What?
So it can die now.
The ass?
That's the other reason I banned that combination. It is literally glitched.
Huh. Okay.
So now that it's venting, that jaw can be snapped off.
Well, shall we speed this fight up?
Yep.
I still don't see that thing being able to be killed, but it's better than it was.
Kalatlas down. Just seeing that jaw stuck in venting is kind of funny to me. Still, the Wurg has enough power, and so does that Lurker, that they might win now that it's just 2 mitigators left.
Yeah, I mean, the Wurg is not being particularly stressed. You know, it has that bug happening, but...
It's trying to laser that mitigator. Oh. It had just enough range to do it.
Yeah, it did some damage. It got the overload even.
Oh, the other mitigator gets in the way! Don't you kill my brother!
That's still a good overload.
Yeah.
These ships are kind of... Oh, they're so broken.
Oh! Christ! The Lurker's
I
dead.
got a Reaper barrage in.
Yeah, it charged in to where the Lurker was teleporting. Okay. Fortunately, unloading your ordnance on these monitors is not helpful. I don't think you
It's
can.
gonna go to CR, I'm guessing?
It looks like it.
Yeah, we might get a probably not a 20-minute fight, but probably gonna get a so whatever the CR rating of those monitors is. Oh no, it's in range of the ward. That'll take it down eventually.
Alternatively, it could ram the Wurg and snap the jaw off.
That's not gonna help though. I mean, I guess it'll help a little bit, but yeah, there it goes.
Okay. That was interesting, though, I guess.
A fairly even fight. Just the work being unkillable.
Just, yeah. Nobody bet on Yui. There was only one better. I'm not gonna... I should probably just not bet. Who's pinging me? Oh, fuck. Okay. What's the next one? Yui and... that one. So it would be this one and then 5 more Thago. How soon do you need to leave?
I should probably get going. It's already been a little over 2 hours, and I unfortunately have a little too much to do today, but it was great to see all of you and comment on stuff.
Okay, I apologize.
It's fine. It was a fun time.
Yep, okay. So I'll see you later, and I'll do the rest of this myself, I guess.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Sayonara.
Thanks for having me.
Well, nuts. I don't have the charisma to carry this on my own. Alright, Yui versus Hideo. The theory here being that maybe ramming damage is sufficient to kill the Leon Burgers, among other things. Well, it's not just that, Badger. They're just a number of matches more than Thago had time for. And some of them are long matches due to the nature of what they are. Not just the horror work. Well, that's a Chihuahua dead. The Umberger is in ramming range. And they are taking some Reapers. Very concerted effort to deal any damage to this Leon. I'm curious, the Calatless has much less mass and so is a much less damaging ram. If it rams the Sionburger, that'll give us like a frame of reference. Not sure how much that was. It did shred off the armor and deal some hold, though. What are the mitigators doing? Well, one of them's in front of the Dreadnought and dying, so that's good. No, it's not. Okay, well, that reduces the hope somewhat. And this one is distracted with a monitor. Very sad. Activate your ram now would be a good idea. Just ram the Dreadnought, unload Reapers into its spawns. No, ram that way, into a Reaper, no less. Okay. Your friend's Reaper, no less. Okay. So this isn't working out. Atlas rams mitigator out of the Dreadnought's way. Ronin Dale rescues. That was actually kind of neat. I appreciate that. Charles. Yeah, Charles occasionally knows what he's doing. All up to you, Mitigator. Because I think the Calatless is just going to get itself killed over here. Yeah. And this Mitigator is too distracted with the irises, I think. Very distracted with the irises, yes. A valiant effort. What's left? Nothing, apparently. It said 0%. Why are you still alive? Oh right, you're one of the drones that doesn't actually count. Well, would you do me a favor and explode spontaneously, please? How'd you survive that? Okay, there you go. Thank you. Oh! I check out the Shiba, I guess. One of them. I don't remember why I set this up against ASK. I wish I hadn't now. Because this is going to be quick and painful for me. Excelsior's already complaining. That's him on Showdown. Altergrave into Leonberger's face, very brave. Foolish, but brave. Marlin's dead. What's the build on the Excelsior that lets it almost permanently stay in phase? I will take a look at that. I don't remember what, if anything, I did to it. Hey look, I did half a shred of damage to the Leonberger. I can be slightly proud of that. Dead Altergrave. And there's the other Altergrave. What was that just now, you jumpy little bugger? Come on, fire those cannons. Or do you not have the flux for it? You probably don't have the flux for it. No. Also, you're dead. So there's that. That was a horrible kill for the Grega. There goes an Exapaico. Is it just you guys left? Firecrow, Exapaico, Regalia. Well, at least you did the pretty system thing for me, Exa. Are those Duke mines? Oh yeah. Oh, that was cruel. Oh, the Malinois is still alive. Temporarily. Bit late on the missile redirection there. I can't believe you're what's alive, Mr. Firecrow. Kudos dodging all those. You failed to continue dodging. You asked me about the Excelsior. Ah, maybe that's it. So I gave it Autostruct and Flux Overdrive, neither of which I think should matter. I also gave it Pulse Rockets. Yeah. Nothing particularly special here as far as I know. Does that bring us back around already? I thought there were more matches than that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have kicked Doggo out so quickly. I guess that's it. Well, in that case, you could try me versus your fleet. I could, but we've been at this for about 3 hours. I think that's a good length for just a series of exhibition matches, just to have some fun. And we answered some very important questions, I think. Horrorword retires undefeated, just about. It nearly got beaten like once. I love you too, Howard. Okay. So yeah, we're done. I am now going to go start validating the fleets for round 2. If for some reason somebody has to forfeit for round 2, then maybe the Nakmak Fiegel will make a return, and they will have a perfect score of 0. But yeah, done for today. I'll see you all at round 2, either Tuesday or Thursday. It depends on my work, actually. Love y'all very much. See you then.